Good morning, students. So we are learning the third chapter in the business studies, private, public, and global enterprises, and we hope that you all understood the topic, and um, and we finished 75% of portion in this chapter. That is, what is the role of introduction part and different forms of public sector enterprises. There is three types of sectors now. That is departmental undertakings, public corporation, and government company. And in each form of public sector enterprises, we studied about the important features, merits, and advantages, and some of the limitations also. Okay, so um, so far we finished the three forms of public sector enterprises, and now we are going to start the next topic, that is called as a multinational companies or global enterprises. Okay. So in each topic it contains the case study. Okay, so this is the material by the author Poonam Gandhi. So comparing to the NCERT book is also good, but comparing to the NCERT book, the content in this book is very knowledgeable and easily understandable for you. So I'm referring this book for it. You can also refer NCERT book too. Okay, so in this book, it for under the each topic it includes a case study. So when you are studying the topics, be thorough in the case study, understand the case study. It is some of story that is in this place. It is business is taking place and these persons are taking place, and they will ask the question, which type of form is undertaken by this firm, and what is the main features of this business firm, how they can able to develop, what is the techniques used in this firm. Like this they will ask. From that story there will be a question, and you have to understand the question, case study, and you have to give the answer. It is very easy if you are thorough in all the topic, and main important point is the concept. So in each topic, if you are having a thorough knowledge in each concept under the each topic, you can able to give the answer for the case study. Okay, so be thorough in the concept wise under the each topic, and it includes a case study also in this book. So be thorough in the case study. Okay, and in this for each chapter it includes case studies and some of the high order thinking questions. It is very important for our as we are studying in a CBSE board, so we should have a complete thorough knowledge under the each concept, and this hard questions. It is a high order thinking skill is very important for us for our future studies. It is a technical based questions, so it will be very useful for you to improve your knowledge. And this high order thinking questions are also included in each chapter in this book by Poonam Gandhi. So so be thorough in this all the questions, and I will attach you the complete chapter for each the complete notes for each chapter. Okay, and go through the chapters. We already finished the two chapters, and the two chapters we studied only from the Poonam Gandhi, and the third chapter now only I received this book. So we are from now from this topic we will started to study by using this Poonam Gandhi book. It's very useful for you. Okay, and it also includes the multiple choice questions, important case studies, important questions. Already there is the repeated questions which is asked in the board exam. Okay, and be thorough in that. We check with this file I will attach to you in the classroom. Just check with the file. You will definitely get the thorough knowledge by referring this file. Okay, so today's class we are going to start the multinational companies or global enterprises. So multinational, it is divided into two words, multi and national, and multi means many and national means the countries or nations. So multinational means a company which is operates in many countries. So it has a many branches, factories or workshops in a different countries. So it is also called as a transnational corporation or global enterprises or international enterprises, and the headquarters of multinational companies are located in one country, that is called as a home country, and carries its business in other countries, that is called as a host countries. Okay, so there is some of the important definitions which is given by the different authors. That is it's a cross multinational corporation is a cross border, because apart from that home country there is also some more different type of branches now, so it is called as a cross border or transnational business organization or aggregate of organizations that is characterized mainly by the dispersal of its managerial centers. So it is mainly having the managerial centers among the several nations. What is the main purpose? We have to know what is the main aim of the multinational companies that is carrying their business in the, apart from the home country, they are carrying their business in other countries now. So we have to know what is the main objective of carrying their business. That is overcoming the barriers of the political frontiers of states. This is one of the main objective of carrying their business across the countries, and also owns and manage the business in two or more countries. And another definition is a corporation which operates in addition to the country in which it is incorporated in one or more other countries. Okay, so it is incorporated in one or more other countries is called as a multinational companies. Some of the important features or characteristics of multinational companies are: first one is a huge capital resources, giant size, and it is a huge capital resources because it is called as a multinational company. So the assets and sale is quite large and is operated on a large scale. Their sales turnover, that is a sales turnover means it is the income, like this is the gross national GNP of a developing country. Okay, so GNP is one of the indicator to analyze the economic development of a country. So sometimes the sales turnover definitely exceeds the gross national product of a developing country. Okay, so IBM is one of the very good example. That is the physical assets of IBM, International Business Machines, exceeds $8 billion is one of the important example. Okay, because this company is having a huge capital resources. Next one is the centralized control. So the branches which is spread in different countries or controlled or managed from the headquarters which is located in the home country, and all the branches operate within the policy which is framed by the headquarters. So all the companies have to work under the control of the home country. Okay, next one is the advanced technology. That is, what is advanced technology? So these companies will make use of advanced technology to supply the products, and they will employ more new type of technology and innovative techniques in the production level. Okay, next one is the expansion of market territory. That is, due to that is they are having the large number of resources and the excellent marketing skill, the multinational corporation has access to international market. So they can also enter into the international market because they are having more resources, and they are having the excellent marketing skill, and is very helpful for them to sell these products in a different countries, because it is operates in more than one country and has its branches and factories in several countries. Okay, so it has their operation activities through a network of branches and subsidiaries in host countries. Okay, next one is oligopolistic powers. What is by oligopoly? Oligopoly just means the powers in the hands of few companies only. That is so oligopoly. There's the powers in the hands of few companies only. So due to this, their giant size, the multinational companies occupy a dominating position in the market. So they are mainly dominating the other type of companies. So they also take over the firm structure, the huge power. They definitely buy the other type of companies in order to increase their resources. Okay, so for example, Hindustan Lever Limited acquired the Tata Oil Mills Ponds Company India to improve its market share. So the Hindustan Lever Limited is one of the multinational company. They are purchasing they purchasing the company, they are purchasing the other company in order to increase their shares, market shares. That is It is one of the important features or characteristics of a multinational company. Next one is the product innovation, that is sophisticated research. So these enterprises are having a highly sophisticated research and development department, which is mainly engaged in the task of developing a new product. So the main aim of having the high research and development departments is to develop the new products and superior designs of existing products. So existing means already using the products by the customers. They will improve the different type of designs by using innovative techniques. Okay, so it is also another important characteristics. And next one is the marketing strategies. Some of the strategies they will follow, that is in order to increase their sales in the short period of time, that is spending more amount of resources in their advertising and sales promotional techniques are normally very effective. It is very effective, that is advertising techniques and sales promotion techniques are very effective in order to increase their sales in a short period of time. Next one is the foreign collaboration, that is the global enterprises. It is called as the multinational companies enter into an agreement with the Indian companies, and it is a sale of technology, production of goods, use of brand names for the final products. So some of the safeguards must be taken in order to have the effective role of multinational companies in a host countries like India. So it is sort of, India is the host country, and the home country will be in other area, other side, and the some of the safeguard measures or should we enter into the high tech industries only. So they are concentrating only to enter into the high tech industries, and they also take some of the measures to bring the direct foreign investments in order to have a proper improvement in the balance of payment. Okay, and the multinational companies should not be allowed to kill small domestic enterprises, but they must offer healthy competition to the domestic firms. Domestic enterprises are mainly concentrated in that is a small type of firms which can be all type of group of peoples. It is which can be gives a satisfaction to all types of group of customers. It is called the domestic firms. Okay, so it also brings some of the direct foreign investment. That is, the direct foreign investment means they are putting the resources in other host countries in order to develop their business firm, and in order to maintain the proper balance of, what is the proper balance of payment, that is balance of payment is what is the whatever the return means the income. As per the income for the multinational companies, they have to maintain a proper investment in the other companies in order to that is in order to increase their income level. That is the balance of how much expenses, how much income, the income in, as per the income they will they are there is a circle, and in order to maintain the balances, the investment and expenses. Next one is the what is the income from the investment. The routine, it is the income which is earned from the investment will be invested in the other type of investment, and this is a cycle. Okay, this is called as a balance of payment. Okay, and there is a case study. See the case study, one of the case study. Sony Limited is the leader in electronics. It is registered in a company and has its business operations in many countries of world. So by reading the first sentence, you can able to understand this type of, this question is only on the basis of the multinational company, because they are operating in many countries of world. Its headquarters is in Japan. To manage its branches and subsidiaries in different countries, the company employs trained and professional managers. They always make use of latest technology to remain leaders in electronics. Name the type of enterprises. By seeing that, you can able to, what is the answer for the first question? Name the type of enterprises. What is the name of type of enterprises? It is called as a multinational company or global enterprises. State where the headquarters of Sony is located. See, what is the, where is the headquarters is in Japan. Okay, and state two benefits of Sony mentioned in above paragraph. Benefits. What is the first benefit? Using of sophisticated and or latest technology is one of the benefits. Okay, efficient management. So in order, the benefits of Sony is, first one is the efficient management and another one is the using of latest technology. Okay. First one is multinational company, second the answer is Japan. And what is the two type of benefits? First one is efficient management and using of latest technology. Understood? Okay. So the next one is the joint venture. So what is my joint venture? So when two or more firms join together to establish a new enterprises, it is called as a joint venture. Okay, so the two firms contribute the capital and they will participate in the management of the enterprises. Okay, so in simple words, a joint venture is a partnership between the two firms. It is one of the partnership firm between the two firms. So the firms of same country as well as the firms of two different countries are also joined together to form a joint venture. Okay, so they included some of the examples, that is Tata Iron and Steel Company joined hand with IPCOL, that is a government enterprises, in order to promote another type of company. Okay, so they are included some of the examples of joint ventures. And some of the important features is to main first one is, what is the need of joint ventures? In order to increase their resources and the capital in order to grow and expand their business effectively and quickly. This is one of the main features or characteristics of joint venture. And access to a new market and distribution network, it is another important feature. That is, when a business enter into the joint venture, that is it can access a new market. That is, when foreign companies form joint venture in India, they get access to vast Indian market. They can also take advantage of retail outlets in different local markets. So when they are entering into our country and they are starting the joint venture in our country, they can able to access the Indian market very quickly, and they can also take some of the advantages of retail local, that is retail outlets in different local markets. So they will definitely there is a turnover, sales turnover is that will be definitely increase in this joint venture. Okay, next one is access to technology. It is advanced techniques of production is leads to superior quality of products and reduce the cost of production. So when there is an advanced technical techniques which is used in the production, it is the main feedback is there will be proper quality, superior quality, and also it reduces the cost of production. And it saves a lot of time, energy and investment also, because they do not have to develop their own technology. Okay, so that is by joining hands with the company of developed nations, Indian companies can get the benefits of advanced technology. This is one of the example. Okay, next one is the innovation. That is, you already know that this joint ventures which helps the business to come up with the new products, that is innovative products for the with the help, because of new ideas and technology of foreign partners. So because of new ideas and technology, so with the new that is definitely, if the other firms will is attracted by means of technology, new ideas and technology, they will definitely come into the partnership firm, and there will be definitely a high sales turnover in the joint venture. Okay, so it is innovation techniques or introduction of new technologies playing a very important characteristics of joint venture. And low cost of production. So when the international companies merge with the Indian company, they get the more benefits due to the lower cost of production, because of lower cost of raw materials, labor, management professions, chartered accountants, engineers, scientists. So definitely there will be a low cost of production. Okay, so the next one is establish the brand name. So another important characteristics of joint venture is, in order to improve the brand name. That is, when two firms enter into the joint ventures, one of the party benefits from the other's goodwill. Goodwill is one of the asset, no? It is the asset, it is also called as a status or a brand name of a company. So automatically the other firm goodwill will also be increased, which is already established in the market. So a lot of investment is saved in this process. So there is no need to put a lot of investment, because it is called as a joint venture. So it is joint venture is it is combining of two or more firms. Even the one firm is not having a proper investment, if they are combining with the other firm, there is no need of putting a lot of investment. And they are ready, there is a ready market which is waiting for the product to be launched. So if there is one firm with the high financial resources, the other firm burden will be automatically reduced. Okay, so next one, it is one of the case study. See that in 2005, Mahindra and Mahindra had an agreement with Renault, that is a French car manufacturing company, to produce and commercialize the Logan. Okay, so it is a 51:49 partnership between the Mahindra. So there is a partnership which is carried out between the two type of companies. The Logan plant at Nashik has a capacity to produce 50,000 units per year. The main aim of two companies is to, so by seeing you can able to understand what is the type of enterprises. Okay, so in this the Mahindra had an agreement with the Renault. Okay, and is a French car manufacturing company. Who is that? It is the Renault. The French car manufacturing company produce and commercialize the Logan. So it is a partnership which is created between the Mahindra and Mahindra and Nut. So it is called as a joint venture, and the capacity is also indicated. And the main aim of these two companies is to produce a no-frills Logan car with classifying features at an aggressive price and launch them exclusively for the Indian market. So this is the main aim of the two companies. So Renault wanted to increase the global car sales by 8 lakhs by year 2009, and they believe that this figure would be achieved by investing in the Indian market. So this is one of the aim of the Renault. So what kind of arrangement is between the two companies? We have to explain. Okay, so first one is it is the joint venture enterprises, and you have to see that, refer page number 133. Okay, so in this we have to explain the it is what kind of arrangement is between the two companies, what kind of arrangements. So you have to explain some of the important features of these two companies, that is in order to increase the sources and capacity, and also to assess the new market, in order to assess the technology and innovative techniques, in order to reduce the cost of production. Okay, and then this is some of the arrangements which is taken between, which is arranged between the two type of companies when they are started the joint venture. So you have to explain the important features, which is what are the arrangements which is to be arranged between the two companies. Okay, so now we can able to get the some of ideas how to write the case study. Okay, so this is a very easy one. And next one is the public private partnership. It is a PPP. Okay, PPP is called as a, that is also referred as a P cube or P3. So in the 1 mark, it is, if it is called what is a P cube or PPP or P3, it is called as a public private partnership. So it describes a government service or a private business venture. It is called as a, so the other name is government service or private business venture, which is funded and operated through a partnership of government and one or more private sector and companies. So it is funded, so the fund is deposited through the partnership with the government, and is also operated through the government and also with the one or more private sector companies also. So it is called as a P3. Okay, so for example, the hospital building financed and constructed by the private developer, and then it leased to the hospital authority. So there is a two. The private company acts as a landlord. Okay, the private company is, who is the landlord is a private company, and provides the housekeeping services, and the other non-medical services, that is the hospital services, are provided by the hospital authority. So in this example, there is a two type of private authorities, that is landlord, and housekeeping services are provided by the private concern, and the hospital services is provided by the government authority. So it is called as a public-private partnership. Okay, so in this there is some of the features of PPP. So first one is contract is taken between the public sector and private party. That is, it is a contract with the public sector authority and the private party, and in which the private party will provide the public service. So the private party also provide a public service and also bears, and they are ready to bear the financial, technical and operational risk also. So the cost of using services is, in the some types of PPP, the cost of using services borne by the users of the services. So who is using the services have to take over the um, cost which is spent on that services, and not by the taxpayers, and in the sum the cost of providing services borne wholly or partly by the government. In some cases, this providing services, the total expenses may be wholly or partly taken over by the government enterprises. Okay, so this is another important features of PPP. And next one is the provision of capital subsidy. So projects that's aimed at creating public goods in infrastructure sector, the government may provide a capital subsidy. That is, capital subsidy means it is formed in the form of donations, in the form of one-time grant to make it more attractive to the private sector. So it is one of the investment which is provided by the government to the welfare of the society. So in some cases, government may also provide revenue subsidy, including the tax breaks, or by providing guaranteed annual revenue. So this is some of the benefits which is provided by the government undertakings. That is the revenue subsidy, but not including the tax, and also providing some of the guaranteed annual revenue. So that definitely there will be a annual revenue for each year. Okay, so this is some of the benefits which is offered by the government undertakings. The next one is pertaining to high priority projects and public welfare. So it is suitable for high priority projects. So it is PPP is suitable for a high priority projects, the infrastructural sector, that is metro rail corporations, and some of the bridges which is that is giving the project to the government projects. And it is also in this project the private sector undertakings will also become forward to do the services. So it is called as a PPP. Okay, and sharing of revenue. What is the sharing of revenue? That is, the revenue of PPP is shared between the government and also the private enterprises in agreed ratio. Okay, so whatever the income which is earned through the PPP, it will be shared between the government and the private sector enterprises in an agreed ratio. Okay, and problem with PPP is, the main problem is that private investors obtain the rate of return that was higher than the government bond rate, even though most of the income risk is that is taken out by the public sector. Okay. So this is the main problem with the PPP project. That is, the private investors will obtain the high rate of return comparing to the government bond, and income risk is also taken over by the public sector enterprises. Okay, so these are all some of the important features of joint, that is PPP. And see the case study. To overcome the difficulties faced by the public transport system, the government of India started the metro project, in which the government involved private sector participation to get the benefits of efficiency of private sector. So from this first three lines we can able to understand this is called as a public private partnership. So the project was great success as the lakhs of people are enjoying the metro service to move from one place to other place. So state the type of enterprises. First one is the public private partnership. Name the PPP providing metro service in Delhi. Okay, and give any two features of PPP. We already studied that PPP, what are some of the features, and what is mean by name the PPP providing metro service in Delhi. So they are asking some of the which is called DMRC is one of the PPP that is providing metro service in Delhi. Okay, so just check with the net and get some of the other what is the name of the in other cities. okay, in Calcutta and as metropolitan cities. Just you take some of the PPP providing services, okay. So this chapter is over. So in this chapter we studied that is all the concepts related to the public private undertakings and different forms of public enterprises, and what is a multinational company, and what is global enterprises, and what is a joint venture, and last one is the PPP, that is a public private partnership, okay. So there is a revision part in each heading, and it includes all the revision part for under the each heading, and it includes one of the flow chart for this chapter, okay. Just go through this flow chart, and it includes the objective type questions, including the solutions for each question. It includes a solution, one more questions, and see that very short answer, that is the one more question is included, it is one sentence, okay. And also includes case studies and the high order thinking skill, HOTS question, that is the high order thinking skill is also included in this chapter, okay. So we studied this each and every, and it also includes the NCERT questions with the solutions. So NCERT book bar questions, these are guidelines to NCERT questions means NCERT book bar questions. It includes the solutions for the NCERT questions also, that is multiple choice questions, short answer questions including the answer solutions, and in the long answer also they gave the reference page number, so you can refer the page number and you can get the answers from that page number, and also include the test yourself some of the important questions which is related to this chapter, okay. So after go through the video, that is the explanation, just study the case study. So first you have to study all the case studies. So for under the each heading there is a case study inside the chapter, there is a case study. Study and write all the case studies, that is including inside the chapter. It includes some of the case studies, and as in the book bag exercise also it includes the case studies, that is called as a high order thinking skill. So study all the case studies and write write in your classwork note. The case studies is enough, and just you be thorough in the one more question short answer in this chapter, okay. And study and write the case studies as a test in your classwork note, and submit their test paper in the assignment section, okay. Thank you, students.